It's now time for Matt and Dan in the house. Well, a very good day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another episode of Matt and Dan in the house of...
What?
Exactly.
Hello, welcome back.
Welcome, greetings. So welcome to another episode of Matt and Dan, House of Quark. I am Matt, he is Dan. Today, of course, episode 15, 1-5, all the way.
I'm glad you knew, because I can't remember what we're...
You can't remember? No, not me. We were just discussing, actually, how fast time is going, obviously. This has been 2020, the COVID year, okay, the year of COVID. That's one thing, though. When we are old men, I know we're old men now, but when we are older men, right, we'll be talking about this year. Remember the days back of COVID? Remember them days? And then we'll be talking to people who won't have a clue what we're talking about. Like, wow, you didn't even live through the COVID, the year of COVID. We went through
It'll be like COVID 35 by then, probably.
Exactly, yeah.
There we go.
Right.
So, yes, welcome back to our podcast.
Welcome back. Welcome, everyone. So, of course, you could be watching us now on Facebook, YouTube, or listening to us, of course, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Public, Anchor, Breaker, and, of course, there is more. Here we are, Overcast and Pocket Casts as well. Wherever you're listening from, hello, and if you can, message us, especially on our Facebook group or anything. Give us a message. We like to know where you are, where you are listening from. It'd be great to hear from you, definitely. So, of course, Matt now has we've got a brand new segment now that we do have with the show. And that is, of course, if you did listen to the last episode, that is, of course, the one and only. It's now time for Trek News. Okay, so it's now time for Trek News, and we do have some Trek News for you. This episode, as you see in the description, is about Star Trek Discovery. It's also part of our Trek News today, because the Trek News is Season 4 has been confirmed of Star Trek Discovery.
Awesome.
That is right. Season 4 has been confirmed. So I do have a little bit of information on Season 4 as well for Star Trek Discovery. Yeah. I have did a little bit of research onto it.
Excellent.
That's what we like to know, yeah. So, of course, Star Trek Discovery Season 4 has been confirmed. Apparently, what it was a tweet that the Star Trek account did launch onto the Twitter account to confirm it. Apparently, it was a video clip. I didn't see it. I don't know what you did. You see it?
It was a video clip on Instagram, I believe.
Oh, it was on Instagram, was it? Okay, there we are. So it was on Instagram.
They might have
tweeted it as well, yeah. I'll be honest, I haven't seen it. Did you watch it?
If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's the one from the Star Trek Instagram account, and it's the actress who plays Michael and Saru, and there's other people in it talking about.
Okay. So the production will start for the 4th season as early as November the 2nd, 2020.
Wow,
that is
Sunday.
very early. Yeah. I was just going to say that is
Monday.
Yeah. It is actually. Oh my god! I just realised,
out on Monday.
That's crazy. That's insane. So yeah, literally on Monday they're gonna start filming, and we're only on episode 3 now, aren't we? Only on episode
That's crazy.
Only on episode 3, and they're already started to film it. I didn't even realise how close that was until you said that then. Wow. So there we are. That's some Trek news there for you with Star Trek Discovery. That it has been confirmed that Season 4 will be filmed. And then of course, I guess by next year, then we'll have Season 4 of Star Trek Discovery.
This time next year, hopefully. Yeah,
exactly. Absolutely. This time next year. So... the main news says there's more Trek to come, definitely. But there is something else I wanted to share with you, Dan.
I'm looking forward to this because surprise.
This is an interesting part of Trek news for today. You see, I was on the internet, and it's kind of my own personal Trek news, I guess, because it's Trek news that I've discovered when I've been on the World Wide Web, and I think I found the world's biggest Star Trek fan.
Right.
Okay. I think I have found the world's biggest Star Trek fan.
Okay.
So why don't you do that, Dan? Okay, because it might give it away. So what you do is just close your eyes. If that's okay, because I don't want to
Okay.
spoil the surprise for you. Okay.
I'm closing my eye.
Okay. So you can open your eyes now, Dan.
Okay.
As I said, I have discovered the world's biggest Star Trek fan. Here we go.
Okay. Wow, that's brilliant.
That is the world's biggest Star Trek.
That is wow. That's brilliant. I love that he was doing it on the the actual notes as well, rather than just how.
Yeah, I know. He literally sang it. Like it was unbelievable. The dog can actually sing
in time as well.
In time as well. Yeah, like, you know exactly. Here comes the crescendo. Here we go. You know exactly like what to do. That dog's talented. Yeah. So there we are. That is I just saw that and I was like, that is Trek news. The world's biggest Star Trek. Amazing. Yeah. Also, happy Halloween to everyone. But we did, of course, receive some very sad news. Like I know it's not Trek news, but it is quite very sad news, of course, for the world of film and television. And that is, of course, Sean Connery, as sadly he passed away at the age of 90. And of course, we know he's not obviously involved with the Star Trek universe. But me and Dan were just discussing. It's a shame he never was involved in the Star Trek universe. I think he would have played a fantastic role in Star Trek. I mean, Sean Connery as a captain, get off from my ship.
Or an admiral or something.
Yeah, that'd have been awesome. Admiral Connery. So, of course, rest in peace there, Mr.
Such a great career, such a long career.
Exactly, yeah, definitely. Right then, so that's all we got time for Trek News. All right then, so that was Trek News, but it's now time, of course, for the rest of episode 15, and what are we talking about? So today we'll talk about Discovery, of course, Star Trek Discovery Season 3. At the moment for this episode, we are up to episode 3. Let's make that clear, of course. We're talking about episode 1, 2, and 3. So if you're watching this or listening to this in the future, you know a lot more than we do, of course, by then. This is episode 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to discuss in order what happened, of course, in those episodes, what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, and our anticipation for the rest of the season. Right then, so of course, Star Trek Discovery. Do you want to go first, Dan?
Yes, I don't mind going first. I'm so glad it's back. First of all, I just want to say, I forgot how good the theme tune is.
Yeah,
I know you played it in episode 1 of the podcast.
Yeah.
But like when it was like blasting out my TV, I was like, I forgot how good of a theme tune it is. Like I think in the first episode of the podcast, I didn't really give it much, but like I actually really, I remember when I first started watching Discovery, which was early this year actually. It was actually on the first episode I watched was on my birthday. But yeah, the theme tune. The theme tune's great, so it's so good to have it back finally. But yeah, it's right. So we're in the future now. Wow. The future technology. The first thing I noticed was the fact that their beds are just like the first shot of that guy on his bed.
Yeah.
And then it just dissipates. It's like wow. And like his alarm clock is a bird.
Yeah.
And it's just the future technology. Like seeing like this is what I was excited for. I was like, how will the technology advance? And like to have just the fact that he just gets out of bed and then his bed just dissipates away. And he's cleaning his teeth as well. Like it was that laser. Imagine that, just like sort of strung out of bed and just grinning, and then having your teeth cleaned by a laser or whatever it was. So that got me excited, really, for like, I was a bit skeptical about going into the future, but I thought, wow, the technology that they're bringing out and sort of showing is brilliant, I thought. So yeah, first episode. I love that I've written "There's a cat," which reminded me of obviously Spot Data. We know Data's got Spot the cat, and that guy who Book, his name is.
Yeah, Book.
He's got a cat, which I thought was a nice little addition.
I always think about animals in Star Trek. Yeah, I always get quite excited with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just reminded me of Spot the cat. So forgot how good the theme tune is. I like the episode, like as a whole, was sort of a bit slow to get going, I thought, but I liked that Michael Burnham, she remains Starfleet principles, and she was like saying to herself, I like the bit where she was saying to herself her number, her Starfleet number. She says, right, I'm in the future, but I'm still Starfleet. And and then obviously Starfleet's not around anymore. I'm like, wow, like how, what, where, when, why?
Yeah.
So I thought it was it, and then the fact that they call it the burn.
Yeah, the burn. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was an interesting development. I thought, and the whole concept of how it was like dilithium. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we know dilithium being the main sort of element, I guess, or fuel, or whatever, all of the Star Trek universe, and the fact that it was that was the reason why Starfleet's not around anymore. So, and like how the Federation is sort of looked down upon a little bit.
I mean, Earth actually, it's weird in a way. I found, because obviously this is set in the year 3188.
Yes.
I had to confirm for myself what year it was, just, and that's why I was having a quick Google.
I thought I wrote that down, but I didn't.
Yeah, 31. Yeah, me too. Actually, I was like, I've got to write that down. 3188. And I found, it's quite interesting. As in, the whole, obviously the burn thing, like, we always talk about how Star Trek reflects on like the modern day and things. Like obviously, like in the 1960s, it reflected on what was going on in the world then, and we always say Star Trek not only does show like a utopian future, but also it also acts as a mirror sort of thing of showing like things, issues, or anything we have in our current time. And I wasn't sure if the burn was supposed to be something to do with like global warming, the environment, that sort of thing. And that's a big topic at the moment, isn't it? Obviously, non-renewable fuel and stuff. So I wasn't sure if that was to highlight that, in modern day. That's what
I never thought of it.
Yeah. And I don't know. And is Earth leading the Federation? I'm just trying to, this is, to be honest, it's a joke. I don't think it's a thing, but for some reason I thought of Brexit. It was like that, though, isn't it? It was though.
Yes, I get.
We voted out to leave the Federation. But no, but it there's a lot of things that kept reminding me of like the modern times. For instance, I was reading, actually, I only read a little bit of the article about Michael Berman. We were talking about her hair, and there's a big thing going on actually about her hair and how it represents a lot of black communities around the world. Apparently, look at that as a great thing. So again, that could be another thing that's going around the world at the moment. Obviously, with a lot of
I love her new hair.
Yeah, no, me too. With BLM and all that. So that could be, I guess, I don't know, like some, part of that in a way as well. So one thing I always say I love about Star Trek is that it is still keeping its, I guess, it's sort of like hiding its sort of like the political messages in it as well, if you know what I mean. It still has that in there, as it always did. But I definitely think that when you talk about the burn, that's to me that's gotta be to do with like non-renewable resources and things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, especially like in a time like now where obviously we've got the pandemic going on, and obviously there's other things to worry about. And
no, definitely.
The world is still, burning it, you know.
Can I just say, kind of off topic, but when I just thought this now, I came across a meme. Right, I know I love my memes, right?
You do,
and this made me laugh. This one did. So it's Wesley Crusher, and he goes to Captain Picard. Captain, how come there's no door handles? And he goes, "Let me tell you about 2020, Wesley."
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, you were saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
One thing you said about the year. What I love is it's like the burn happened still a long time ago. Like I like how it wasn't just like yesterday.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah. I think book says it's 120 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So even though they've jumped 900 years, the burn was still like over 100 years ago, and I love that aspect that it's still a long time ago.
Yeah.
As well. So yeah, and like she won't take off the badge, even though like he tells her to take off the badge. Like it's still keeping that sort of Starfleet, Star Trek principles, if you like. You know. And one thing I love as well, Andorians and Orions. Yes, the fact that they're like, just because I love that little thing because you know, obviously we didn't really. I mean, you had Shran in Enterprise, but you know, I love the Andorians. I think we should see more Andorians, and especially the Orions as well. So that I thought was a nice little touch. So I was like, oh yes, Andorians. So yeah, like that was a nice little touch, and I like how it just started focusing on Burnham rather than. I like how they took their time to reintroduce Discovery, get in there as well. Obviously, we'll come on to that with episode 2, but I like how they just took their time with it. They didn't rush it. It didn't feel like.
No. I loved it actually. I'd say the first episode definitely. It was like you said, it's set in the future, as in the burn happened in the past, and there's this nice dystopian feel to it.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of. I always compare it to when I think of futuristic dystopian film. I always think of Blade Runner, and it did again remind me of Blade Runner, especially the Andorian Orion market. Gangster. Thing.
It reminds me a lot of Dark Matter, that show that I want you to see.
I will watch it one day.
Because Dark Matter is set way in the future in the dystopian world. And when I was watching, especially episode 2, I was like, this reminds me a lot of Dark Matter.
Yeah.
I read something that you might agree with this, you might not. It has a feel of Picard.
Okay.
In the way that it's shot.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
On like the grand scheme of things, it's just like the way that it's shot and how it's lit. It's very
well. That's one thing that I can't on both of them though, is that they are visually beautiful. Like they really are. They're incredible. I mean, Star Trek Discovery. I'll always remember. I watched. I can't remember the guy's name. Is Matt something. He does. They don't do them anymore. They used to do that after Trek talk thing on Netflix. So after every episode they released.
I've not seen that. Though.
Yeah, it's not a thing anymore. Now we have. I can't remember his real name. Wesley Crusher. What's
Will
Wesley
Wheaton?
Crusher? Will Wheaton, I can think of his name. Yeah, we have Will Wheaton does his own like podcast thing on Facebook. You can watch now. But yeah, we used to have After Trek, which is really cool. Actually, you should watch just some episodes. Even though,
I will.
Even though like there's no really point watching them now, as in like you've seen the you know what I mean. You know what's happening, but it's quite cool just to see like a really nice studio and all they're talking about is Star Trek, and they've got the Star Trek Discovery cast on and the writers, and there's this guy called Matt something, and I love what he said. Actually, there's one thing he said when the first episode of Discovery came out. He said, "Wow, it was." And there's the sort of thing I used to think like when I used to see like, the first like how TV series have really come a long way in the past few years. He was like, "Wow, it's like watching a movie." And I was like, yeah, that's the sort of thing. It's become, it used to be a definite. I used to find it a distinction between when you used to watch a TV program and a film. That makes sense. Now I find they're sort of filmed and produced in the same sort of way now. And Discovery, it literally is like 10 episodes of beautifully filmed movies in a way. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I like that. I like
yeah,
that. I like that.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I like that aspect of it a lot.
yeah. I can see what you mean, though. Definitely like Picard. And Picard, again, has this sort of dystopian future sort of feel to it in a way.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So it has that.
Especially obviously with Picard has left the Federation, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
But that
definitely.
similarity of it with the Federation not being around. So I just thought it was really interesting how like just the way that shot and lit and sort of things like that.
Yeah.
And you talk about the movie aspect of it, and obviously now because I think we've talked about before how people's viewing habits have changed, and I think it's quite nice to sort of see like I do feel like I'm watching a movie. I do feel like I'm and how it's scored as well, like the music as well. It's quite and like the the locations of that planet they're on. That's beautiful. That's really really nice. And
really
whereas
well.
before in the 1960s they were just out in a field in you know Nevada.
Well, I mean, that's where beaming comes from. Was they couldn't land the Enterprise, so they decided to beam them down. So, and that's where it came from. Was literally because of budget.
Yeah, exactly. So,
also, talking about it's what's set in the future. I really love the portable transporters that they got now.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because she comments, doesn't she? She
Yeah.
goes, "Portable transporters." Wow.
Yeah. It's That's one of the things. What I think what made obviously the writers and the studio who produced Discovery really excited was the fact that I think the problem with Discovery at the start, because they had so many ideas and so many things they wanted to do, but also they had to take into consideration this was set 10 years before Captain Kirk, and now it's like their imagination can take them anywhere. They can literally do anything they want. They can anything. Like I said, portable transporters, and all they've done, they basically just emphasize what they've got, already, and they just said, oh yeah, well in the future we have these instead. And I think it's great. It's definitely a good opportunity just to play and do whatever they want now, because no one has gone that far in the future yet, so they can do whatever they want, sort of thing. Yeah.
I was going to bring this up later, but I'll bring it up now, seeing as you brought it up. So, like, I think they couldn't have set it now in the first series. I think that they needed to have. We've had the first two series of Discovery, just to establish, the characters and the tone of the show. But I think if they were to set it sort of in the first season, set it in the 32nd century, I don't think it would have sort of had the same impact.
No, I agree with you. Yeah,
especially after watching episode 2 and 3, which we'll come on to. But I think it's quite nice that they've already pre-established that, and now I don't think it probably would have worked as well if they'd have sort of off the bat, right, we're in the 32nd century. I think it would have been a completely different show, but it's sort of looking in hindsight, I guess, because it's what I mean, like, with these characters, I mean, but I think that it's quite important that we've already had 2 seasons, 10 years before Kirk, and now like this has happened, and now we're in the 32nd century. Now we have the freedom to do what we like. And
exactly. Yeah. Well, there's no Starfleet at the moment, so literally,
which is so interesting. So like,
get
it back. But yeah, and then I don't know if you spotted this. I hope you did, but I spotted it. Did you spot the? This is a spoiler as well, by the way. Who's not seeing it? Anybody who's seen it? The character. There was. It was just an extra, a background character, but there was a guy who was from Morn species. Morn in DS9.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
There was a character from his species.
I didn't know.
Right, the bit in the first episode where they are, it's Book and Michael, and they're trying to go back to his ship, but then the Orions and Andorians beam down and they circle them.
Yes.
It's before the giant worm bit.
Yes, yeah.
Well, one of the extras or background characters, he's the guard basically, is someone from Morn species.
Oh, that's cool.
Go back and watch it, and you'll see it's
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah. I like that though. I like when they do bring back just little things like that. And again, like I didn't notice that, but you noticed that, and there would have been a lot of other people who noticed that. And then you got people then who will never seen DS9 and they wouldn't have a clue what you're talking about, you know. So
Yeah, exactly.
so I like that. So they also are thinking of the DS9 fans as well as
Yeah,
Discovery fans. So
I love stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I was like, is that? Well, it probably is not Morn, but I was like, Morn. Yeah. So yeah, no, I loved it. I thought it was a good opening episode. Like I said, they didn't rush it. Didn't feel rough. It didn't. I guess because obviously now the show's like growing, I guess, and going in different places. It didn't have the same sort of impact as the first two seasons, but I think when I watched episode 2 and 3, I was like, okay, I can kind of, I kind of eased back into it, if you like.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
yeah, this is Discovery. Like the episode didn't quite have. When I first watched the first episode, I was like, this isn't Discovery. And then obviously, episode 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now I'm back. It's a good opening episode.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I 100% agree with you there. It was, it just how what Discovery's all about. I think Discovery obviously is a Star Trek story, but also like we all said, it's just a beautiful picture as well. It's that's what Discovery's all about, and it's great. Like definitely a great start to the season. But then we went into episodes, not season 4 yet. They went to episode 2.
Start filming that.
Yeah. And then episode 2, of course, we are joined again with the crew of Star Trek Discovery, and again, I thought it was just great to see them again. It was a long time no see sort of thing. So I thought, it was just again, it was a great a great way of introducing them again. Obviously, they are lost, in this. They basically did what Michael did in the first episode, wasn't it, sort of thing,
Yeah.
But they had each other this time, and they were obviously lost in time, which they were, lost in time and far away from home. And again, it was they had to do what Michael did, obviously learn what's going on, what's the burn and all that, and where's the Federation, where's Starfleet, and I mean, I don't want to cut straight to the end, but I'm just saying though, and it was great. Then obviously they were reunited, in the end, and
I had goosebumps when that bit happened.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I like the fact that the ship crashed into the planet as well, because I was like, that reminds me of I don't know if is it Generation. Which ones is it where the Enterprise crashes into the planet?
I think it's Generations, isn't it? Yeah.
Generation. And you got Data going, oh shit! Just reminded me of that, and I was like, you can't not have Star Trek and a ship crash into the planet or like land on a planet. Because there was an episode where Voyager crashed into a planet as well.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that they've got Discovery crashing onto the planet, and it's a good kind of Star Trek thing, I guess. I quite like that. The ship crashing into the planet. I thought it was great. I thought it was nice.
I think it's this whole like kind of a salute as well to like to like Captain Kirk and all that. I always imagine them, they're all panicking or they all like wobbling to one side and that sort of I love all that. That's Star Trek to me, so I love all that. No, I like you said that actually. Yeah, definitely bringing back the starship crash. Yeah, that's yeah.
And then this brings me on to a little funny thing that I've noticed, which I thought was great. So obviously we've got Saru in command. And I wrote this note before obviously watching episode 3. Saru really needs to be captain. I really like Saru, and I think I'm really excited to see how Saru can develop this season.
Yeah.
He's in command. But I one thing that I've noticed, and I never noticed it before, he's very polite, right? Whenever he gives a command like raise the shields or red alert or hail them or whatever, he always says please at the end, and it reminds me. And this is just a little in thing between me and you.
Okay.
It reminds me of you.
Me.
So like, yeah. So anybody out there who doesn't know, Matt and I and our friend Nick have made some films in the past with our little show productions type thing.
Yeah.
And obviously because it was Matt's camera that we'll be using, Matt was the guy who always said action. But whenever Matt would say action, he would always say please at the end.
Yeah, action, please.
Okay, so action, please, and cut, please, and yeah. So it just reminds me of that because whenever Saru gives a command, like he'd be like, okay, so lay in a course, please, and shields, please, and black alert, please. I don't know if you noticed it.
Yeah, no, I have noticed he says please. I didn't even really think about it myself, but
it just reminded me of you. So I was like, I've got to get that in the podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, you remind me of Saru. So I like that a little bit. But yeah, so for this season, I'm really, I don't know, what about you? I think the development of Saru could be something quite important. I think he'll be having
definitely
a lot of importance.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I mean, we're jumping ahead, but obviously they kind of decide he becomes captain in the end. So, but and then obviously we talk about the whole like the Stark sort of outlaw aspect of it, I guess, in episode 2. You've got those little bandits. I don't like to use the word bandits because they're not, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
In a bar type thing, it's like a bar fight. I don't know, like that bit for me. It was okay, but I was like, I don't know. Is this really? I guess obviously there's no federation anymore, so it is a bit outlawry. That bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know what you mean there. Yeah. I'll be honest. I don't like. I don't. I know we're sort of just discussing this as because we're on episode 3 now, so we're just discussing it as a whole episode.
Yeah.
But I was actually quite disappointed that they were human. I don't know. I don't know. It was. Yeah.
I can see that.
Like, I understand it was like, oh, you're human too. We should be friends. And it was a bit like, oh, I wanted a new species. I was like, oh yeah, we got something new, or who's underneath that? Is it an Orion? Is it an Andorian? I don't know, something exciting, or I don't know, anything.
Yeah.
Is it linked to the Breen? I don't know, anything. And then it was like,
I mean, they could have done the Breen, or
because it'd be interesting what the Breen are doing right now. You know what I mean? Are they struggling? Are they marching on? Are they?
Well, this is the thing to discuss.
Yeah.
So, what the season become. I mean, like what any of them will be doing. Like, what would the Cardassians be doing? Where are the Vulcans in all of this?
Yeah, exactly. Are the Romulans taking the mick of this now? Are they going to be like, oh yeah, this is our chance? I don't know. Yeah. It's there's so much to talk about, and yeah.
One thing I've noticed though, I just the note was just human evolution, and like, how we evolved from sort of apes, and well, I mean, whatever you believe, but like
yeah.
How like even in the 22nd century we still look now, like we still look as we are in the 21st century, but like we're in the 32nd century. You would have thought that after 1,000 years humans would have evolved.
I mean, I think I was
reading. We just stopped evolving. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I was reading something. After you said that, because I was reading something about like they were on about, I don't know, things in our body that we don't use, and I think one of them was like a little finger and things like that. Would that even be a thing in the future? And because if it's not being used, then you said evolution, Mother Nature will go, all right, you don't need that anymore, sort of thing. And they reckon, obviously, when we had tails, there's still, you can still see there was a connection when we would have had a tail at one point in our evolution. Yeah. So,
well, apparently, like it's like your appendix.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That apparently, like they say that used to be a second liver or something like that.
Yeah. Well, it's when we used to eat like plants and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But they reckon people are starting to be born without them now, because it's not being used, So it is happening very slowly, But yeah, you've got a really good point there. Like how,
It's just,
yeah,
it's just sort of observations. Like 1,000 years later, you would have thought something noticeably would have changed. It kind of just stopped. I don't know. It's just something that I noticed.
No, it's a really good point. Yeah, definitely. I always think of South Park with, I don't know why, with the people from the future who come and they take all their jobs and they speak a weird future language. Have you ever seen that episode?
I'm
And
not really.
Eric Cartman's trying to order a chicken sandwich, and no, he's not. He's trying to order like a big Whopper or something in Burger King, and then he's like, the guy can't speak like, well, he can't speak basically modern, like, well, the current English. He speaks like future English or something. I don't know. It was weird, and he just goes, chicken sandwich. Like, no, a big Whopper. Chicken sandwich. This makes me laugh, and it always reminds me of that.
So that is another thing. You would have thought our language would have changed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, these are years as well, not just on Earth, but we are being mixed with all these different species. I mean, the Federation was a massive union of people. I mean, we are going to get some. Well, when I say mixed race, I don't mean mixed races in what we see mixed races of, like, people who are black and white, or mixed species. I guess it'll be. Yeah, I mean, would you have that then? More Klingon human hybrids, and
this is it.
And it's would we take things from their genes as well then, obviously, because obviously I guess it would take like Balana, for instance, to take obviously the good stuff,
I was just thinking that,
Klingons, and the good stuff from humans, and then it would and that would be generations and generations of intergalactic breeding.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you would have. That's another good point. You would have thought there would have been a lot more over 1,000 years. A lot more. Well, not 1,000 years.
I know what you mean, though. Yeah, well, especially with like, I mean, look at Star Trek Enterprise, and then first of all, people weren't too sure about the Federation mixing with Vulcans and things like that, and now, they by Voyager everyone was mixing with everyone, sort of thing, and so I think definitely by that time surely maybe a lot more of it's happening, a lot more of, say, Vulcans and Andorians or whatever probably living in Earth full time, and working and studying, and so and again, if people on Earth living on Andorra, it's cold, but they might be living there, So I think it'd be a lot of definitely intergalactic breeding and mixing. So I think they should.
I can understand that disappointment there, though. Absolutely.
I think I was annoyed that it was human, because I think I love seeing more alien species, or androids or anything.
Because there is a lack of androids, I thought.
Yeah.
Even in episode 3, where I thought the character of Wen in episode 3,
right,
the guy with he kind of reminds me of like a Marine, but in episode 3, and you've got that Wen, his name is. It's
oh yeah. I forgot his name was Wen, but yeah, that guy, yeah.
Even he turned out to be a humanoid, and I was like, because at first you sort of think, oh, maybe he's like from an android species, or he kind of reminded me of I can't remember the character's name, but in the Orville, you've seen the Orville, right?
Yeah.
The robot in Orville.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I can't
remember his name. Anyway, it kind of reminded me of his species, like how he's, well, as they say species, but there's a whole, I guess, planet of robot species. When I saw him, I thought, oh yeah, that's amazing. That's he's an actual robot from an actual robot species. But I guess, like you, I was kind of disappointed that it just kind of turned out to be a man in a hat.
Yeah, that's what I was a bit. That's what I was. Yeah, it was a bit disappointed with, actually. I mean, we're only on season. We're only on episode 3, but still, I know exactly what you mean. It was, I like I said as well. You're human too. Let's be friends.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I wanted you to be. Like I don't know. It was. Yeah. I know Star Trek was all about, not fighting and discussing, but sometimes you want a bit of action, though, especially on a TV program.
I quite like that aspect of you've got the name escapes me, but you've got the people from Earth versus Wen's people, and you've got like Saru in the middle trying to get them to talk. And I was like, that reminded me of loads of episodes in DS9, for instance, or Picard in Enterprise in Next Generation. Getting two species to sit down and talk, and that's a very Star Trek aspect. So I liked that. But again, I was like, I wanted a robot species. Or
it kind of reminds me of the Cylons. The Cylons are the robots, android species in Battlestar Galactica. Like, I kind of wanted that sort of thing. Yeah. So, I know exactly what you mean. It was, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's much of a letdown. It's more of like, that could have been different. Although, having said that, the guy who plays Wen is an actor called Christopher Heyerdahl, and I quite liked it because he's actually a character in Stargate Atlantis. So when he took his hat off, I was like, Christopher Heyerdahl. He plays Todd the Wraith in Stargate Atlantis. So any Stargate fans out there who know Stargate Atlantis, the guy who plays Todd the Wraith is in episode 3 of Discovery. So I like that aspect of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put a downer as well, more on Discovery, but things I didn't like or I wasn't sure about. I mean, like I'm going back now to episode 2.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
And it was, I don't know, like it kind of reminded me too much like Star Wars a little bit. It was, obviously.
Glad you said that because yes. Especially, yes, I know what you mean.
It was very like the savior has come. The prophecy says that she's going to come and save us. It was that sort of, I don't know. It kind of reminded me, oh, help us, Michael Berman, you're our only hope. That sort of thing. It was just.
I know what you mean there. Yeah. Because even in that bar scene, I was like, if they bring out like a Cantina band now, that would just be, just the band in the background just playing. Yeah. I know what you mean there. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, it was. It was very Star Wars, as in, I know that guy as well, just waiting for them. Is he meant to be a connection as well with one of the Starfleet crew? Because there's one bit, because he is from Indian descent, is he? That guy is the guy.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And there's one bit, and I don't know if it's just me, but they definitely marked a moment when Michael Berman returns back to Discovery, right? And she's just chatting away in the corridor. And I remember, it's weird. It's like, so basically there's a crew member who walks in and goes like, good to see you again, Commander. And then walks past her, and then she just sort of stares at him, and then they don't touch on it again. They leave it. So I was thinking because I don't know, like, because I'm sure he was like Indian descent as well. I wasn't sure if she made a connection with him and that guy who was waiting for her with a flag. I don't know,
I know the bit you mean.
Yeah.
That bit confused me, actually.
Because she definitely marked a moment there. Yeah. Was it the same actor or something? I wasn't sure. Cause I looked at it, I was like, is that him?
I don't think it was the same actor, but it could potentially, I guess, be the same person, the same character, just younger, maybe. I don't know.
But then, but that wouldn't make obviously sense because he what was it, like 900 years in the future? I mean, you know what I mean? Unless it was like time travel or whatever. Because
one of his descendants, maybe.
Yeah, but it does. It's not just me. It definitely marked that moment, didn't it? Like she just saw.
No, I know the bit because he comes out of the turbo lift, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then he just goes like, "Good to see you again, Commander." And then she's like, "Hi," and then like he walks and it's really slowly, and then he like, they definitely
because then the camera zooms in on her and she's like, ooh. Yeah.
So it's definitely something there they're trying to highlight, but I think it'll make more clear. It'll become more clear as the season goes on. But it was just, I don't know, the whole bit with the flag as well, and It was, yeah, I don't know. It became too Star Wars for me, I think, at some points. It
A
was
bit
just,
with the flag, I think they did a bit too early, in my
yeah.
opinion.
But then that guy was waiting for a long time.
He was waiting a long time, yeah. But it's kind of like, oh, you're here now, let's raise the flag. It's like,
Yeah, it was very like, yeah, finally the Federation can come back. And it's like, oh, you know what I mean?
yeah. So I think that could have been done, on a grander scale, and also a couple of episodes maybe later on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know what's in store. I mean, we've only done the
Exactly,
first
yeah.
episode, but I think one thing I wanted to talk about as well was the character of Giorgio.
Yeah.
I don't know about her sort of being this sort of, like, I'll go back to the bar scene again, like her just sort of doing all this martial arts and stuff, and like, I don't know, that bit again, that fight, it was just a bit too bar fighty, and I'm like, I don't know if I liked it. I don't know if I disliked it. It was a bit like, oh, bit of an eggy moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Her doing all this sort of,
But
and
then
at the end,
I guess you have to keep, like she is obviously from the Mirror universe, isn't she? And she is an empress back there, and
yeah, this is true. I
the
guess,
way they deal with things is a lot different than
yeah,
Starfleet deal with things. So I don't know. It's just them trying to keep that, because she's stuck now, isn't she? Really, obviously in the Prime universe. So they're just trying
and in the
to,
future,
yeah.
I don't want her to just throw her toys out the pram all the time, and that's the kind of the feeling that I got a little bit.
Yeah.
Because in the first two, when she first came back from the Mirror universe, she's very much a rogue and sort of did her own thing. But now she kind of just seems to be throwing her toys out the pram a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't want her to do that because she's a great character, but it kind of had that feel of that. Speaking of, oh no, it's a different film. No, never mind. I watched a film called The Mummy: Tomb of the Dragon Emperor a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
And she's in it.
Okay.
I was like, oh my god, that's the person who's Giorgio in Discovery.
Oh, okay, cool. Any good?
Anyway, I mean, compared to the first two Mummy films, no, but it's all right.
Yeah.
The first two Mummy films are really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. But then I just want to say overall, though, I did enjoy Discovery. But this is, I don't know if this is a good thing to say or anything, but as you know, I watched Star Trek Renegades recently.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give too much away. I know you're going to watch. You're going to watch it. Oh, it's let you know as well. It's not a full season. I'll explain that another time to you. But it's not actually a full. Is reasons for it. It's because copyrights and all sorts of things. But anyway, I watched Star Trek Renegades, and I don't want to give too much away. We will make a podcast episode on this. We discuss some fan made. So if you know any fan made films or series you want us to check out, please let us know, because we are going to be doing an episode on that. But all I want to say is I'm watching Star Trek Renegades, and I actually preferred it to Discovery.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was what. Yeah, I think it's just what I wanted. I mean, film-wise, as in the actual composition of making the film, Discovery, of course, annihilates it. But then Discovery's got a much bigger budget, know, and that's why Discovery's got Netflix and CBS and everyone. Star Trek Renegades, obviously, I think was a crowd-funded event, sort of, with. But it's to let you know, it's directed by I always get his name. The guy who plays Tuvok, he directs them.
Oh, Tim Russ.
Tim Russ directs them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is quite cool actually, because
he's in it as well as Tuvok.
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, and Chekhov's in it. Lieutenant Uhura's in it. Chakotay's in it. They're all in it. That's why I love it. That's why I love it. Yeah, like to me, it's literally I know. It's like I know. I don't want to give too much away because we will talk about it in the future. But it is literally. I think that's probably what's happening with me. It's like I'm watching Discovery, I'm enjoying it, but Renegade's literally the Star Trek like I wanted. You know what I mean? It's like I want now though.
Yeah.
So that's the problem at the moment. Yeah.
I think we can enjoy Discovery a lot more than we could, because obviously both you and I have always wanted, I guess, we've always said we want something that's after Voyager, I guess.
Yes.
After the Golden Generation.
That is true, yeah.
And obviously, whilst Discovery is good, the first 2 seasons are set before the original series. I guess now, obviously, with Discovery being, I guess, albeit 1,000 years after Voyager, it's still, we can enjoy it more because it is, I guess, after. Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's true. Well, I've been talking to a lot of people actually who are really enjoying Discovery. People are not even Star Trek fans, or not real Star. They're not really Star Trek. They like a bit. They don't mind Next Gen or something, and they're loving Discovery. So I definitely think Discovery is attracting newer audiences again for Star Trek, who hopefully will go, wow, I'm going to go and check out other Star Trek seasons, and these on Netflix as well. I'm going to check out Voyager or whatever, and they'll get into that. So, I fully support it though. I think it's doing great work of attracting more people to Star Trek. I know people who again, they never watch any of the Star Trek, but they just watch Discovery and they love watching Netflix programs. So it's become like one of the Netflix shows to watch, isn't it? Sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But it still has obviously the Star Trek name.
Yeah.
And Star Trek Discovery rather than just.
Because you could watch it and not know anything about Star Trek. Really, you could.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Enjoy it. I know obviously they reference obviously the joint trills and stuff, didn't they, as well?
I was about to say that. I've written that down. I love the fact I love the fact you mentioned the trills.
And me and you, obviously, we know exactly what it must be Lars as well. He had to explain what they were.
Yeah.
Because again, these audiences who now watch Star, they would be like, what's that? Whereas we're like, you don't have to explain it to us. We know what that is,
Yeah. And I bet you immediately thought of Jadzia.
Yeah, of course I did. Also, she's in Renegades.
Is she? Oh. Wow.
Well, yeah.
As Jadzia or the.
Well.
Oh no, don't.
Basically, I don't want to ruin it. Yeah, you'll just watch it. You sound really excited for Renegades. It's not even a real thing, really, is it? It's not canon. It's canon, but it is. It's really weird.
I'll watch it, and we can decide if it is canon.
No. It's not, as in it's not official. That's what I mean. It's not canon. I meant to say it's not canon, but it is. That's what I meant to say.
No, but anyway. I was about to say about the trills. I love the fact that that little 16-year-old person was the trill, who was the admiral that sent the message. I love that little.
Yeah, and apparently as well that because they kept referring to that character as her, but I read an article somewhere. I literally had a glance now at something, and they were saying about. I think the actress is supposed to be considers themselves non-binary or something as well.
Yeah, because we discussed this. Yeah. So, right, okay. So that's a non-binary actress, is it?
Or yeah, but wow. I was getting confused whether or not, will that person become non-binary then, or because obviously, because we were discussing as well. Apparently, Discovery have confirmed they want to have transgender and non-binary characters. I
thought they were in this season, though, are they? Or
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm guessing could that be her? Maybe will she be the non-binary character? Because apparently the actress considers herself non-binary. So what I mean is, will they? Will she be? Will they be like? I don't want to be called a her. I want to be called. And then obviously Star Trek being Star Trek will obviously accept that. And I don't know. It's just interesting. Well, yeah. Will that be the step into that? I don't know.
No, I love that. Obviously, we were both really excited about that when that was confirmed. So
yeah.
And I hope they have quite a prominent role, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it sounds like they want to join the Starfleet. The way it sounds. So I think definitely we'll definitely see that character in the uniform and everything. And will they become, say, non-binary or whatever? Will that be the thing? I don't want to be called that. Or it'd be interesting. Yeah, they actually have dialogue that explains that. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
but I think as Star Trek fans as well, I like the fact that the character is a Trill as well.
Yeah.
That sort of
No, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Non-binary aspect of it, but it's also a Trill, so it kind of makes I guess sense. Without, do you know what I mean? But I just love. Again, we've got something like like seeing the character from Morn species, or seeing the Andorians, or seeing the Orions. We've got Trills. They mentioned Trills. It's
yeah.
It is
because she's actually human, though, isn't she? She's just been joined, isn't she? She's actually not actually from the planet Trill, isn't it? Or something. That's what it is. Yeah, that's why she hasn't got the
tattoos. Yeah,
the patches.
Patches. Yeah. I can't remember what I was going to say. I can't remember what I was going to say. No, it's gone.
No, it's okay.
It just goes to show, though, like, I mean, I know it had a bit of a wobbly moment in episode 2, but it goes to show how bad, I guess, things would be when Starfleet fell, and like how important Starfleet is.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Not just the humans, but like the, I guess, galaxy or whatever.
Well, yeah, that we were saying, it's really exciting to see how other species are gonna deal with it. I guess isn't it? The Klingon Empire, is that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because I think Saru says something somewhere along. I can't remember if it's episode 2, episode 3. He says this ship is called Discovery, and now more than ever, that name has more meaning. And because they are literally discover, they've got to go and find the Federation. They've got to discover, and
it's like we are literally, we are literally rediscovering our own back garden again because it's changed so much. And but then it's not. So I was going to say, but also I think what symbolizes that is when they go and visit the tree. They go down to
I like that.
I think that's the whole idea, is that they are sort of discovering their own home basically again, because it's changed, because it's still the same place, because that highlights that it's still the same place. The tree is still growing, but a lot has happened, a lot has changed. The burn happened, and space is a lot different than you remember it, sort of thing. So definitely we're rediscover. It should be called the Rediscovery.
Star Trek Rediscovery. But I mean, what I've written as well, it kind of has a feel or aspect of Enterprise in that sense. It's like kind of beginning afresh, and we've got to because Enterprise was all about sort of forming the Federation, and now we've got to do it all again. So I quite like that, because I'm a massive fan of Enterprise myself. So.
It is like doing it all again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or will they link it to them? Because when they with Pike, it was the time crystal things, wasn't it, in season 2? Will they link it to something to do with that? Maybe they can travel through time. I don't know. It'd be interesting of how. I don't know. It's going to be weird.
I think, the first 3 episodes, I'm really excited for the rest of the season. Like I say, I Saru personally, that's why I'm looking forward to seeing how he, I guess, what kind of a captain he becomes, I guess. That's what I'm looking forward to anyway. And seeing what the burn actually is. Like, I think that still needs to be explained a little bit.
Yeah, because the way they're describing it is that it just happened. Is that what happened? Well, how?
Yeah.
It's just boom. 1 minute they were there, 1 minute they were gone, sort of thing. So,
and going back to the evolution thing as well, when I was watching it, I can't remember what episode I was watching, but I wonder what the Borg are doing.
Yeah.
How have they evolved?
Well, we were discussing actually before how we think there's got to be a connection between Control and the Borg, and because Control. Because Control very much is like the Borg, and I read somewhere about them trying. Well, fans were making connections anyway with, obviously, in Star Trek Enterprise when they discover Borg, like in the Arctic, and they all frozen. And and then the Borg actually tries to assimilate, like early technology or wherever it is, and whatever they put into, and then people were saying, it could have been then Section 31, then obviously hiding this, because Section 31, we don't really know what they do all the time. They're a secret part and a secret section of Starfleet. So it'd be interesting if I don't know if Control is if it's going to go back to Control and it'll be the Borg, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting, and maybe that's a connection to the Burn. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. It's nice. I mean, because I guess personally, because I didn't watch Discovery when it first came out. I had to watch it once it was done, but now I'm watching it as it comes out, and I think for me that's more exciting.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, a lot of people I know are like, "Oh no, I like to watch them all in one go." And no, I'm with you. It's kind of nostalgic waiting.
Yeah.
Weekly thing, and I find this way I get more in as well. I don't know about you. I always find that if I just watch a few different programs and I had like they all come on, they all air different days, I find I watch more things. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the way it would have been done back in the day. So
exactly.
It would.
You would have to wait a week before watching the
Whereas
next episode.
now everyone just stares at the TV for hours on end and watches them all in one go.
It is nice. It is nice. I feel like more excited for this season than I did.
No, I agree with you on that. Yeah.
When I was watching the first two seasons, it did take me a while to warm up to Discovery, but now I'm actually more excited.
I was the same. I was exactly the same. It took me a while to warm up to Discovery and really understand, like, where it's going. And I think for me was season 2 saved it actually for me when it was Captain Pike was involved and things like that. I think that's what because you got to see the Enterprise and all that, and that's what made it. It's like, oh, it's the Enterprise. But
it is things like that, and it's going to be things in this where we see again like the Andorians or Orions or whatever. It's like, okay, it is still Star Trek. It's that kind of reassurance that it is still Star Trek.
Yeah.
Love it or hate it, it's still Star Trek. It's
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you on that. No, I do. No, I said I am loving it, and I am really excited. I do think season 3 is going to be a great season. I think, especially if they already confirmed the film of season 4, that's got to be a good sign.
Which they start filming on Monday.
Start filming on Monday. Yeah, we're gonna go down. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Interview the stars. Hi, it's Matt and Dan House of Quark. We have a moment of your time.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan Frakes actually directed the last episode as well, I noticed.
The last episode of season 3?
Season 3, as in this episode. Yeah, episode 3, I mean, yeah.
Did he? I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that.
Yeah. I made a point now of checking who directs it to see when he directs an episode. And he directed the first episode that aired. I think he did that one. And he did, this one as well.
Oh, that's
episode
cool.
3. Yeah, Jonathan.
Yeah, he does a lot of directing. Didn't I read somewhere that they're on about doing a series based on this is going off topic. Well, not it's kind of on topic, but they were on about doing a series of Riker and Troy. Did I see that somewhere?
I didn't see that anyway, actually. No. Okay.
Oh, I will research and bring it up on the next Trek news.
Actually, now you're saying it. Now, I think I saw something on Tumblr. Well, not Tumblr. Tumblr. I haven't been on that for years. Not Tumblr. Not Tumblr. What's the other one? Instagram. Anyway, I'm getting old now. On that Tumblr, man. On that.
I still remember Bebo, to be honest.
Yeah. Not Tumblr. I've been on Tumblr for years. Not on Instagram. I don't know what. I always think Instagram's Tumblr. I think they're very similar things when you think about it. Tumblr. Yeah. Anyway. Well, both like picture dominated, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was on Instagram, and I saw. Yeah, it was something about them too. Because obviously that would be a kind of a spin-off, I guess, from Picard. It would be one. Yeah.
That should be awesome. And I saw that, and I can't remember if I can't remember if I read it. I think I just read the headline, but yeah.
When did they talk about Worf and all that as well? Like, it's just interesting.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, anything else that you're looking forward to in the upcoming episodes? I mean.
I mean, I really like to see, obviously, like I said, what the rest of the universe is doing, how they're dealing with the burn. I think I'm going to predict this now. I think it's going to be a massive cliffhanger at the end. because definitely going to season 4.
Yes.
I think something's going to happen, and we'll be like, oh, I reckon there'll be one of their moments, like, oh, moments. Definitely, there's something's going to happen, and we'll be like, oh man, what's going on? Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Will they get the Federation back together? I don't know. It's a weird one. And who are they going to find on the way and sort of thing? And I don't know. It's just.
It might not necessarily be the Federation we know it. They might have to start again, like I said.
And what's the connection with that? With the crew member she was staring at as well? I want to know that is because they definitely highlighted that. It was
And speaking of another crew member, I don't know what her name is. I think it's either Lieutenant Denver or Lieutenant Denver, the one that's got that little thing over her eye.
Yeah.
Acting a bit weird as well, isn't she?
She was, yeah. She seemed very frightened all of a sudden, didn't she? Where she was normally I always find quite a straight, as in, really like just got on with it sort of character. Didn't really show much emotion sort of thing. And then she became a bit more, Yeah. No, I
she was acting weird in episode 2, and in episode 3 she was fine again. I don't know. So I hope very, and she zoned out a little bit as well. I noticed.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Are you okay?" And she'd be like, staring. And be
like,
yeah.
No, you mean, yeah. No, that'd be interesting how the crew do get through this season, and it's exciting,
It is exciting. I mean, obviously, don't get us wrong. There were a few wobbly moments. I would say leggy moments that we.
What do you think about them little robot things that fix the ship? I was never sure about them things. I just like, what are they? They had them like at the start of like season 1, and there's like these little robots, and they fix.
They remind me of
Star Wars.
or like
R2D2.
or you know how in Farscape you've got the what are they called in Farscape?
Oh my god, it's gonna bug me. Oh, what are they called? Yeah, I know.
Just as when you want to name something.
I know.
Things I mean, the little
yeah. And one of them he names.
It reminds me of those.
He names one of them, doesn't he?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember if I've got to that. But anyway, that's another conversation. Oh, we were going to talk about the thing that you sent me on Messenger, but I didn't watch it because I hadn't watched the episode yet.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, they are called the DRDs.
The DRDs, that's it. Yeah.
That's it. The DRDs.
They remind me of the DRDs on Farscape.
Yeah. I don't know if I liked them in Star. I don't know why. Because I was like, well, Captain Kirk didn't have them. Do you know? No. That's why I get a bit. That's the only thing with Star. I think Star Wars tries so hard to keep the technology obviously not as advanced as Kirk, but then at the same time they've got like this giant budget, and they're like, oh, but we could get little robots to like fix the ship, and it's like,
I don't know. I know what you mean there. Sometimes they have to, I think, just remember that actually, remember the timeline, I guess, in that respect. It's like, oh yeah, they wouldn't have had that. Kirk didn't have that.
Because I want to know what they're called as well now, the things in Star Trek. Are they called DRDs as well? I don't know. It's just... right, so there was a video. So as we know, with Star Discovery, it gets lots of different reactions, as we know. It's been, I think, I would call Discovery, I don't know about you, I call it the Marmite season as well, the Marmite series, or the Marmite series, as in being... people love it, or it's really not for them at all. I've learned that the past few years, as you know, we're in different Star Trek groups on Facebook. Some people just can't, they just don't get Discovery. And that, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, that's fine. I always just say, just don't hate on it. Just appreciate it for what it is. If you don't like it, then just don't watch it. That's my opinion. But whatever. Anyway, there was a video that went around, and it's from a scene in episode 2 that happens. I'll play it anyway, because I think it's good just to... I'm going through our conversation now on...
Oh, okay.
Oh, man, we said so much.
We did. I mean, we are best mates though, so we are allowed to have like massive conversations.
Also, I just remember because you told me about Star Trek, The First Frontier. That's another Star Trek fan film I did watch as well. I watched that.
You liked that, was it?
I liked it with Robert April. I think, yeah, it was. I mean, for
the
a
trailer
fan
looked
film,
really good, and what I loved it, the whole film's just on YouTube. So,
okay, it wasn't that video. That was something. Aha! Right. Okay. So I'm gonna get it ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so the title of the video, just to point out, is called Starlight Discovery, names janitor after Gene Roddenberry and makes him shovel a mutilated dead body. Okay, so basically what's happening is there are Star Trek fans who do strongly believe that the guys who work on Discovery actually don't like Star Trek, and they're using Discovery as a way to mock Gene Roddenberry.
Really?
Yeah,
I wasn't aware of this.
Yeah, so let's just watch this video. This, because at the end of the day, it's just an idea. You haven't got obviously take it. Oh, you haven't got to take it literal what they are saying. That's just their opinion, obviously. But again, just check it out and see what they're trying to get at, and sure we got things to say about it. So here we go. This is the video. Okay, so this is from episode 2.
You have some Leland on your shoes.
And someone else needs to clean the spore cube. There's gooey bits of him everywhere.
How many drugs are you on right now?
Just moving a little slowly.
If you can breathe, you can work. So unless Hazmat over here is going to be helping after he cleans up aisle 5.
My name is Gene, actually.
I've already forgotten that. Great, let's go.
That wasn't an invitation.
So yeah.
See, when I first watched that video, I just took that as they were saluting Gene, as in, let's name drop Gene. But
kind
actually,
of yeah. I agree with you. Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll let you finish. So I know what you're going to say, but yeah, carry on. Yeah.
But actually, I've just actually heard her line. I've already forgotten that. Is that what you're trying to get?
Well, yeah. I'm not really trying to get it. It's what other fans are.
Right.
Now,
I've only just noticed that.
Yeah, I agree with you, as in I saw it more kind of like a Stan Lee sort of moment. I know it's not the real Gene Roddenberry, like they have the real Stan Lee in Marvel films, but it's the idea of just dropping his name there, isn't it? And I get that. And I quite like the idea of, if Gene Roddenberry was still alive, rest in peace, Gene, but he would do cameos and he would show up and it would be things like shuffling a dead body or whatever he's doing, And I think that'd be quite funny. But I know what you're trying to say as well, is that she goes, I already forgotten that. But then, I don't know, you got to remember, mind, I know Gene Roddenberry didn't have a fantastic relationship with his son, but he works with, he's part of Discovery as well. He actually produces a lot of Discovery stuff. Eugene Roddenberry. Eugene Roddenberry, of course. Gene is short for Eugene, obviously. So he's a Gene himself. So, you know what I mean? It's, I think fans are literally looking into it too much, personally. I like to see it as a positive thing.
I like your analogy of the whole Stan Lee thing. That if that was a Marvel thing, that would be Stan Lee's cameo. Do you know what I mean?
And that character, anyway, I always forget her name. That lady, but she, well,
is annoying.
Yeah,
I don't.
She's that kind of character. She has that kind of role of being just, I don't know, just mean all the time to people, anyways. And so I wouldn't look too much into it. I think I see it more like a salute, and I mean, no one's gonna just mock Gene Roddenberry. You know what I mean?
Which would be a shame if that was if that's what they were trying to do. That would be a shame.
It would be a shame, yeah. And I don't think that's what happened. I think people are, again, just attacking Star Trek Discovery. Personally, Because why would you want to mock that? You want to be part of this, this Gene Roddenberry universe. That's what we want to be part of, isn't it? So I see it more like a salute.
Really. Yeah, that's how I, like I said, that's how I saw it personally. And yourself.
Or it could be like a little joke as well, as the idea that, because Gene Roddenberry apparently had a lot to say when it came to obviously Star Trek. He wasn't happy about a lot of things writers would come up with, and he was like, no, that's not what happens, and Rick Berman, obviously, who took after him, he's basically like what's the word? He basically took the crown, didn't he, off Gene Roddenberry to carry on Star Trek, sort of thing. I watched the video actually of Rick Berman, and Rick Berman actually had a little statue on his desk of Gene's head, but they actually covered. They actually put like a scarf around his eyes so he couldn't see, and he said something like, "Oh, so Gene doesn't hear and see everything that we do in this room." He did a lot of things he wouldn't be happy about.
No.
So, there's that as well. I guess the idea of like, just pretending Gene's not watching sort of thing. Would Gene be happy with Star Trek Discovery in the future? Would he be happy with the way, And also it's quite interesting that he's in that room as well. That room, where they obviously with the spores and and that again wasn't a Gene Roddenberry idea. So I don't know. I don't know. Take it as it is, really. I think you can read anything into it. It does show actually with like art and film and whatever drama. You can literally read anything into anything, and you really can.
Yeah, you can. But then I guess at the same time, you have to. Sometimes it's best just to take it at face value.
I agree with you with that. Yeah, I.
And sometimes it's intended to be taken at. Sometimes there is no hidden meaning. Sometimes it is just take it as it is. So.
Yeah, or this could be the writers actually thought, "Oh, we didn't think of it like that."
Yeah.
So but then maybe hang on, let's remember as well that was only episode 2. I mean, the point as well that he highlighted his name. That is he going to be a bigger role? Is Gene going to be? I mean, people don't even know. We don't even know. I mean, that's the thing. People jump to conclusions already. It's only episode 3 now. This Gene, the fact that he said, "My name's Gene," well, why does he want us to know his name? What is so important about Gene? Is it because he's named after Gene Roddenberry, or is it that this Gene actually becomes a very important character in the season? I don't know.
It's worth thinking about. Do we know how many episodes season 3 has? I don't personally.
Is it normally 10 in a season, isn't it, in Discovery? Is that right?
Because I thought like season 2 and 1 had like something like 13 or 14.
Is that what it was? Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it'll be the same then, I imagine.
I should IMDb it.
Yeah. No, but I
think something around there because I know like obviously things like Picard had 10, didn't it?
Yeah, Picard did have 10, and apparently Picard should have another season, hopefully. So
yes, no news on that yet, though.
I don't think so. Not I viewed it, but don't worry, we'll be on a Trek News in the future.
We're on it.
Right. Well, I think we've covered all we want to cover anyway. I think on this episode, it's been very enjoyable. Definitely talk. It's nice to talk about new Trek. This is what it's all about now. New Trek.
This is it.
We talked about all the old stuff, and now we're on the new Trek, which is very exciting, and definitely keeps this podcast alive. Obviously.
Yes.
Yeah. But again, we do have lots
once
more.
Once again, America, give us.
Please. We need it.
How about Star Trek Prodigy? Will we get that?
I hope so. I really do hope so, because I will be watching Star Trek Prodigy. Even though I'm a 27-year-old man, I still will be watching Star Trek Prodigy. I don't care. But yeah.
Anyway.
As I said, we have lots of episodes coming, of course. If you have anything you'd like us to discuss, any ideas on that, please give us a message. Then we will be looking more into. I've been looking a lot into fan-made films recently. That's been my thing at the moment. Fan-made Star Trek films and series on the internet. So, again, if you know of any I should check out and look at, please contact us on our Facebook, and me and Dan will check them out, of course, because we do have a plan of talking about fan-made Star Trek. So if you have a fan-made Star Trek film as well that you've done yourself, please let us know. We'd like to check it out, and we'll definitely support you on that. Definitely. Be awesome.
No,
Free
absolutely.
Free
I look forward to, yeah, look forward to watch it. I mean, I'm definitely going to watch Renegades and the First Frontiers. So.
Yeah. You're going to love it, honestly.
Yeah.
Right, Ed. So from me, Matt, and the lovely Dan, we say for now, live long and prosper. So don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can be following us now on our Facebook group. You can watch the videos there at M&DHQ, or you can follow us on YouTube, watch our videos there as well. On our YouTube channel, like and subscribe. And of course, listen to us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Our Podcasts, Radio Public, Anchor, and Breaker. And don't forget as well, Overcast and Pocket Casts, and lots of other third-party websites.